What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to the RiftGuides WildRift video. We have a special game for you with a Shyvana in jungle. This champion has been under the radar for quite some time, and I truly believe this champion isn't as bad as people make her out to be. Obviously, this champion requires more time to scale up to be an absolute force of nature compared to other champions. But Shyvana on level 5, and especially scaling-wise, is an absolute demon queen. And the reason for that is the following. So every single time Shyvana gains 100 stacks, she's going to evolve one of her, well, abilities. At maximum stacks, she gains something even more powerful. Omnivamp. Now, if you combine this with items that already exist in the game, and you think about, okay, other champions might have some issues with sustain, then you realize Shyvana then on the other hand, once she gets to that point, is kinda insane. Not only this, like every single ability upgrade, which can be acquired through just farming, is going to make her a lot stronger. And you see the jungle clear here, this is with a smite left, she goes into the river this early. And even in skirmishes, she isn't really that weak. It just depends on her having ability cooldowns, because that is the biggest gatekeeping thing about Shyvana, having cooldowns available. Like you see, jumps after him, he's gonna probably escape, he doesn't escape. Okay, but here you see the thing about Shyvana. Talon obviously might be a better example for this one, and Hammadigan really not really paying attention at all. This might be a little bit scuffed here. Ooh, living on the edge, I like it. Oh, cannon, GG, jungle diff. Anyway, when it comes to Shyvana and overall sustain, it's kind of an interesting thing, yeah? Because depending on what you buy, you obviously take a lot longer to reach that certain power spike, but once you reach it, you're then just unstoppable as a farming machine. So obviously you want to get that sustain sorted at some point. You obviously don't want to have your only sustain be your 400 stack evolve. That would be like, you know, pretty bad. Another thing that's kind of unique to Shyvana is her direct urge to build Trinity Force. Because Shyvana is one of these champions that would prefer going defensive boots because it allows her to stick to the enemy longer, survive more damage, and live this bruiser type of nature. However, if you first item these boots, you will definitely slow down your jungle clear to such a degree that you might fall behind for zero reason. Other champions like Xin Zhao, for example, can simply do this without any worry because they have enough base damage in their kit from their normal basic cooldowns. Shyvana, on the other hand, can't really do this. So the first purchase in the entire game, like the first rushed item, is going to be the Trinity Force. Jumps over the wall here, finds the Talon. Talon is not going to escape. Did she actually pick up the kill on that one? I hope so, because that's pretty huge on her. 140 stacks already, first ability is already evolved, so it's not a bad thing. Oh, my cat is going rogue mode again. Classic. And it's always funny to see how these laners just die to the most funny stuff ever. Like, how is this a thing? How is Shyvana allowed to do this? It's just people not paying attention at all. It's so typical in WildRift. But yeah. She's not even recalling for the item. She's going to probably full clear her jungle, then reset, and then there needs to be a decision. Shyvana gains more stacks doing the dragon than doing the herald, but it depends on what you want to do. Obviously, you want to deny the enemy both objectives if possible, or take the one that's stronger. For your champion personally, Dragon might be stronger in accelerating you in stacks, however, gold-wise and especially tempo-wise, the Herald is most definitely a better choice over that one. Ah, so close. Nearly had the perfect boots base. Has it now? Okay. Now this champion has peaked. But the boots choice is a very interesting one. That is primarily against the enemy top laner and jungle, rather than the enemy bot lane and mid lane. So this game, it's actually quite the sad thing that neither of these boots are going to do too much unless she plays entirely top lane centric. So if she, like, most of the time makes her place around the Herald side, then these boots will provide great value. However, if she plays around the bottom side of the map, like in this video, the upper side, around the Varus and the Seraphine, these boots will have a lot less value. They also can't really force place up there, because the enemy turn is way too powerful. And he knows that. Like, again, with other champions would be more likely that they can just dive. And Talon really believes they can kill. Like, Talon, this guy has Trinity Force as well as armor boots. He's too tanky. Nicely scooped up by the cannon. Now his team needs to push the wave, and then he can play the game. Cannon should not be the one leaving. Cannon should be staying. They try to push the wave. Okay, dive is cancelled because no more wave is left. Shyvana will get away with another camp yoink. And Cannon will go to the other side of the map to achieve what specifically? To defend the tower? To hunt down the Riven? Enemy gained so much. Like, look, they got the mid lane tower, they nearly got the top lane tower as well. Looking at the enemy team, it's definitely sad that they have such a mixed damage profile, especially on the bot lane department, because this Varus champion is an absolute demon. When he hits you, the percentage damage is stupid. So fully investing into armor is most definitely one way of asking to get killed. Okay, Riven definitely overstayed her welcome here. Oh, that's such a nice try. That's so sad. The thing is, Shyvana without ultimate is not really a champion. So now with the ultimate going on, she has to make something work. Like, really nice, she spots the Talon on the other side of the map as well, so she can just take away this blue buff, maybe even check for the wolves, maybe if they're available. Sadly they're not, but now she's immediately taking a recall. There's not much for her to do. She could have just walked bot lane if she wanted to, and see if she can just push with the Jays. But yeah, Shyvana without ultimate is most definitely not a champion that is going to do too much. Yeah, chasing after the Heimerdonger is a near impossible thing. So what does the jungle do right now? He goes side lane. Many of you would be like, that's griefing, and to a degree, I agree, but in solo queue, if you need to have the resources to carry, and your team is not doing as much as they should, like look, they have a Blade of the Ruin King Tristana into a zero tank team. What's the point? So realizing this and seeing this is like, okay, these resources are better on me than they are on my teammates. And the pillaging continues. Every single camp is taken away on cooldown. Now he's trapping for the enemy to come by. Maybe just somebody is just obliviously walking into this. Yeah, you can't really force... Oh, hello. Yeah. The question... Uh-oh. He needs to flash. The thing is, unless he can like guarantee to one-shot the Talon, I think this play doesn't serve a real purpose. Because think about this, yeah? Now the question is going to be, will the Shyvana be able to refarm the form before Dragon, and losing the flash before Dragon as well, especially if we view Dragon as a big objective for Shyvana. I mean, in this game, not necessarily anymore, because we're at 348 stacks. But it would be our second Dragon, which would allow us to play for Soul. So, depending on how much value you put on there, factoring it together with the idea of being able to one-shot the Talon or not, which is very unlikely at this point, since you can just press ult, it's a little bit troublesome. Form has been farmed again, no flash available. Seraphine just ulted, so this is very good, because that is the most important thing to watch out next to the Heimerdinger stun. Heimerdinger really caught off guard here with the approach to the fight. Really didn't expect the Shyvana to come from this angle, but you see the damage she's taking. It's kinda insane, but now we have the 400 stacks as well. The chase down should not be an issue. Oh, they jump away. But now this dragon will just be eaten alive by the other dragon. The Heimerdinger will even help, and there's just no way she loses this. Now she can turn this onto the Riven. There's just no way they win this. There's too much damage. Yeah, there's... The Donga just immediately died, but I think the Riven had Divine... Not Divine, what is it called? Thunder's... Oh, that's unfortunate. And he lovely... Like, he just cut away the break, so we back at it immediately again. Big W in the chat. But yeah, the Donga just immediately died. Donga damage. I would have really loved to see the death recap of Shyvana's last death against the Riven and the Hammerdinger. Because with any form of anti-healing, Riven would have most definitely lost. Like, she must have Sundered Sky since she crit. So I'd really love to see what she currently has. Oh, they know a little bit too much. Nice try. Okay, Eclipse, Sunder's... Yeah, okay. So at that point, the Riven already had the anti-healing component, as well as the healing item on herself, while the Shyvana has no form of heal mitigation. So yeah, like Riven, I think, procced her Thunder Sky like 2 or 3 times in the entire, like, skirmish, probably, on her. Okay, for you who don't understand what she's doing, she deliberately leashed out red buff to reset the red buff a little bit early to gain more stacks of her passive. She deliberately didn't want to kill red buff immediately to make sure that she gains the dragon form just in case something happens around Nasher. So for the untrained eye, this might look like, ha, she's griefing, she doesn't even know how to leash the jungle and just be in proper range, but there was a reason behind it. Oh, this could be very good for them, because the Jace really played a perfect bait for the scenario. So now Talon dies, the Hammerdinger will be ran down as well, there's no hope for him, there's nothing they can do. And now even if the enemy team tries to help, they will all die too. There's simply not enough damage right now to deal with this Shyvana. Like, she is accelerated too much, the enemy team broke formation completely, and she just gets to roll over them. Freest Nash pickup of the century, obviously. And this Shyvana is truly just rolling over them. There is just no escape, as it seems. But the Shyvana needs to be a little bit mindful. Like, she can still be the one that throws the game since she's the one that carries the most gold. If she dies, her team will completely fall apart. And we don't want to see that happen. We really don't. Because if it happens, this game might turn out to be an immediate loss instantly. And that would be awful. Doing the right thing though, not participating in the ARAM shenanigans, rather setting up the side lane so we can actually play multiple lanes at once rather than being defended at mid lane against all the AoE abilities. But the enemies can't spread themselves thin due to how they work as a team. So Shyvana has to tether at like a relatively max range to make sure that she doesn't get surprised by enemy engages. But she can most definitely just walk up if there is no dangerous enemy on the enemy team currently in her range. She has QSS, she has all the available necessary layers of defense to just do so. And that enables her to play so far up when there is, when she sees more than enough people. Okay, Dragon Form about to dissipate right now, so now Shyvana needs to be super careful in the sense of approaching enemies. Cannon was the only one being able to do something, but Shyvana has to back off like from this fight. So now she has to refarm her form again. So afterwards, she again is a champion. But if she ever gets close, if this Shyvana gets to hit you, you will be in a lot of trouble, because the damage of this Shyvana is simply out of this world. It's just too high. Talon nearly dying at the same spot as before, but catching a Talon who can jump walls and go invis is most definitely not the easiest of tasks. However, this Talon has to just bounce somehow. He has to somehow escape this attempt of locating his position, and apparently it seems he was in the river, considering that he just took the crab. Riven stole blue buff, that's comical. But now the enemy is putting themselves into a really interesting spot by just going into a narrow corridor. Oh my... They just did the worst thing possible. They gave the Shyvana the perfect angle to close the gap to every single one. Which means it's an instant wipe. She will QSS any incoming CC, she is in front of everyone, so every single thing hits the enemy champion. Ultimate, third ability, first ability, and then it's simply over. And with that, we are at the end of this video. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, check out that channel in the description below. If you want cheaper skins, check out the description below as well. And we'll see each other for more RiftGuides content very soon. As per usual, have a wonderful day and see you soon.